Okay, this is a sort of a follow-on from my previous video I did on episode 5 of Ahsoka. Uh, the Shadow Warrior. Now, I'm doing this is because when I did it yesterday, I was excited. My brain was not working right, and I missed several key things. So this is going to be a part 2. And yes, I have changed the t-shirt. So anyway, but I am wearing the white hat because first of all, we got one, Ahsoka and Anakin in the world between worlds. We got Ahsoka as a young child with a Clone War era, early Clone War era, Anakin Skywalker with the Clone War armor. We got the Siege of Mandalore. Then we got Ahsoka the White. We also had a possible Dark Tano. We had nearly Ahsoka go to the dark side. All I'm going to say is, I am so glad she's a good guy. Because if she went to the dark side, I'm basically surrendering straight away. We had the Purgle, we got the music, we got Jason, Oi. Now, Carlson, the X-Wing pilot in my previous video, I goofed, I made a mistake, my hands up for that one. Carlson, first seen in The Mandalore. In this one, he basically he's got special gifts because his father was a Jedi. His reaction, fine, okay, right, he's a Jedi, he's got skills. Right, I'll accept that. And went to hell. The way he distracted the New Republic things. And I'm going to say this. That was from The Last Jedi. Now, most people say it was one of the worst movies of the franchise. I haven't seen Solo, so I can't really say that, but it wasn't one of the best sequels. I will give it that. But the way he tried to distract him, it was basically him trying to be polite and so forth. But when he says, okay, I'm going to tell you the truth, but you're not going to believe me, we're basically with him on that. Now, my brain's gone. Now I'm going to talk about certain scenes. Now there's a channel that's changed its name to Blind Squadron, because Blind Wave is its main channel and it does reactions to Mandalorian, other TV shows as well. And it's been doing the Ahsoka ones. Now, one of them mentioned in their reaction video, which also caused me to do this, which is what I'm doing this as well, because their reactions brought up a few things. One, as Ahsoka is going into the water from World Between Worlds, he said baptism. Now, I actually agree with that. I'm with him. Now, he said a baptism from Ahsoka who she was to now Ahsoka the White. I will agree that is a brilliant analogy. We had the banter, we had the arms crossed, we had Hayden Christensen being the Anakin he could have been. He brought in the person who did his voice in the character Anakin in the Clone Wars. He brought in some of the mannerisms from that into his portrayal of Anakin in here, and he pulled it off. Brilliant, amazing. I liked it. Now, what I'm also saying is, we got a Clone War era looking Anakin. Now, when they did the Clone War era, because of their budget, they had certain things that made him stand out from, well, basically the movies. They put the Jedi in armors. Obi-Wan's was a white armor, very clone trooper style. Anakin's was black. Now, interestingly, very similar to the upper part of the Darth Vader costume with the plating. Very similar to that, and that was deliberate, I think. Dave Filoni pulled that off. And by the way, he directed this one, he did the script, and he's the one who created the show. He got all three on this one. Now, when it comes to the young Ahsoka, it got mentioned in another show called Screen Crush that the person who played the young Ahsoka has done other stuff as well, including the young Gamora from Avengers Infinity War. So she's done some big movies. So, wow, that young actress been part of the MCU, now part of the Star Wars universe. Okay. Sign me up. She's started off big. Now, I'm going to mention the music. And this music, the score, oh my God. If they had limited budget for this show, I think about a third of it just went in this episode because visually, audibly, the music, the sound effects, the way it looked, it was perfect. Now, Dave Filoni's going to be doing a movie. Now, if he can pull this off on a TV show budget, what the hell's he going to be able to pull off with a movie budget? So, wow. Now, when we originally saw the Purrgil, it was a dark and gloomy, in live action, it was dark and gloomy, and the ships were being followed in between it, and it was specifically done like that. This time, we see him in beautiful sunshine. And, oh my God. Right. The volume, as it's called, apparently, really, really pulled it off in this one. And we had flashes of Anakin and Darth Vader swapping places. And they pulled off. Now, the original voice of Darth Vader was done by an actor. James Earl Jones. I had to think down for his name. Now, due to his age, he doesn't think he'd be able to pull it off. Now, Disney bought all his vocals he did for Darth Vader, and via a company in the Ukraine, I'd like to point out, where this technique was originally developed. It was the Ukraine, so well done there. They pulled it off. They did it. This was brilliant. This was amazing. Now, do I have any complaints? Did I feel something was rushed and so forth? No. No. This was literally a perfect episode. And I said in my review, I said this was a 5 lightsaber episode. Oh, it was. More than so. And literally every reaction video I've watched on YouTube since this episode dropped, and they've done theirs, they're saying the same thing. And some of them are saying it's the best TV episode on TV, and I would agree with them. It is definitely what we've been needing. Dave Filoni pulled this off. He pulled it off so well. And we got the Ahsoka we've wanted. The one who smiles. The one who has, I hate to say it, snippy. We've almost got the old snips backs from the Clone Wars. And I think Rosario Dawson's going to be able to have a lot more fun with the character now. She's a much lighter character. Like, her spirit has been renewed. Like, the burden of the fact that she was trained by Anakin Skywalker, who became Darth Vader, who wiped out the Jedi. No, wiped it out, I should say. This is going to be good. Now, interestingly, we didn't have that many bad guys. Of course, we had the flashbacks of the droids and Darth Maul's Mandalorians. In this episode. But they were flashbacks. They were images of the past. We had no current bad guys. This was carried by Ahsoka in this one. Rosario Dawson pulled it off, and I can't remember that little girl's name. And I'll see if I can get it from another video and then add it to it. But this was amazing. What I'm going to do is, I'm going to add to what I was planning to do for these videos. I'm going to do what I'm going to call a first review, where it's what I saw at the time before I go back to look into them. And trust me, I'm going to go back. And I will probably do a full review at a later date. But I'm going to tell you this. This was amazing. This is the Ahsoka we've wanted. She's snippy. She talks back like she knows more than you. She thinks she knows more than you do. This was the Ahsoka we've wanted. We grew up with. And we got it back. But we had Carlson and we had Jason Sandula literally steal the show in this as well. They have both pulled it off. And I like how Hera trusts her son with the murder bot, the greatest war criminal of the rebellion, Chopper, to do this. I honestly don't know what to say. We had a moment where Ahsoka's eyes turned yellow. Now that, for those who don't know, when your eyes turn yellow, you're supposed to go completely to the dark side. It was shown by Hayden Christensen in Revenge of the Sith. Now, shockingly, it's been about 20 years, I think, since Revenge of the Sith came out. I mean, it's been over 20 years since The Phantom Menace and Attack of the Clones came out. I loved it. Now, here's something. And I'm going to keep saying this in my videos when it comes to Ahsoka. A lot of people, when Ahsoka first came out, she divided the fans. You either loved her or hate her. I loved her straight away. Because the movies only give us a brief look into a certain era. This wasn't the case. with this series, we got to see the progression. People say his son fall to the dark side. We don't know what happened in the Clone Wars. We don't know what led up to Anakin going to the dark side. Now we know because of the Clone Wars and what happened to him. And why people started not trusting the Jedi because of this war. Because of what Palpatine did. And that's what the Clone Wars showed. We learned more about them via a TV show, which was pretty cool. And I will tell you this. I liked Ahsoka from day one. And her progression, her growth, all through the Clone Wars. Now, I would like to point something out. I have not watched all of the Clone Wars. I only got up to a certain amount before I lost my ability to watch the shows when it was originally shown in the UK on Cartoon Network. I had to think then. Because it was originally shown in the UK on Cartoon Network. By the time I actually got a decent satellite TV and so forth that allowed me to do this, times had changed. The Disney Channel had come up with one called the Disney XD channel, which showed not only Star Wars Rebels, which I watched all the way through, but also a lot of the live action stuff as well. Kind of what Disney Plus is now, basically. Excuse me, got an itchy leg. And that's what it was like. That's what Disney XD is like. It was like Disney Plus for the kids. Now, so I'm not fully up on most things involving the Clone Wars. But because of YouTube and so forth, I've got a general idea. You know, I'm going to ask a question. I'm going to put it in the comments as well. Do you think I should do a review of the Clone Wars? Now, the first couple of seasons, I remember, and one of my all-time favourite episodes was Yoda being a one alien badass against Asajj Ventress. Where, you know, she says her droids are worth more than 100. More like 1,000. Because basically, Yoda was kicking their asses, and at one point he says, "Not alone am I. You three I have. Outnumbered they are." And I'm basically going, yeah, okay. He has 3 clone troopers. 1 is injured. And he still says they're outnumbered. They're outnumbered. In brain power, yes. Against droids, those guys were idiots. But I like that. So I'm going to put in the comments, do you want me to do a review of the Clone Wars? I know I'm doing basically backwards, but you know, I've never done anything in the right order apart from this Ahsoka series. So now I'm also gonna put, so yes or no. If I can put your, I'm gonna use a pinned comment and ask you, do you think I should do a review of the Clone Wars? Because I wouldn't mind doing that. Give me something to do. So, what? This is all up to you. This is all up to my channel. You want me to do a review of the Clone Wars? I will do a review of the Clone Wars. An idea has come to me. What I'm going to do is, I'm going to do a follow-up review of the episodes, as I said at the beginning of this video. But I'm also at the end of the season. I'm going to do a full review. Now, I'm going to say it in this video. The first episode, 4 lightsabers easy. The second one, I'm going to go 3.5. The third, 3.5 lightsabers. Fourth, 5. Fifth one, 5 lightsabers. That's pretty good. Now, as I've said, I've got trouble doing videos because I don't have proper cameras or anything like that. I don't have a computer to help me do the editing or anything like that. I've only got a phone. But this is going to be pretty good. Now, what I think is going to happen in episode 6, I have no idea. Honestly, I don't. But I do know for a fact they're not going to be able to top this one. If they do, then, I'm going to have to change my ratings from not 5 out of 5 for lightsabers, more like 10 out of 5. 10 out of 10. I'm going to have to do that. But at the moment, I'm sticking with out of the whole, you get the 5-star sort of thing. I'm doing the whole 5 lightsaber thing. But this episode, I think this is an episode where you're going to have to watch it more than once to pick up things you've missed. Because it was that good. Plus, you had them giving it everything I found wanted. You're going, oh look, there's Hayden Christensen. Wait a minute, he's gone Clone War. Wait, he's gone late Clone War. Wait a minute, he's gone Darth Vader. We've got a young Ahsoka. What the ding ding ding? Your brain's basically bouncing around. So you're missing stuff. So going back and watching this is going to be needed. Which means I'll probably do... Originally, I thought I'd have 8 episodes of me doing a review on this thing. Well, that's not going to happen now. As you can tell, this is going to go way beyond that. I've got nothing more to say. But what I will say is, the joke at the end with Hera saying Jason's too young to go to another galaxy. Yeah. But I think Hera is not going to be part of the military. Which also might, in universe, explain why she was not helping Leia Organa out. Because her contacts in the military had been locked off and so forth. And she was probably on either Ryloth or Lothal getting ready. So, but it was the beginning part of this episode where Hayden has Sabine Wren's Mandalorian helmet. It was basically heart-wrenching. But there's something else I just remembered. As the Purga were flying off, you had smiles on the X-Wing pilots that they saw them, like, oh wow, this is amazing, So that was also in their position. You would be doing the same thing. You're flying around hyperspace Wales. The Purga were amazing. Right, I got to get this video up. And I got to do all the things with the comments anyway. So, like share, subscribe. I will be putting a pin comment up with the question, should I do a review of Star Wars? I will see you soon, because I've still got a theory video to put out about Shin. And, well, may the Force be with you. And I will see you soon.